Everybody, and welcome to another GovGrants tutorial. My name is David Dabb, and today we're going to be talking about progress reports. Progress reports are going to be automatically scheduled by the system and assigned to you once your subaward is active, based on the schedule that was set by LMG during the draft phase of the subaward. Now that we have an active subaward, we're going to be assigned those progress reports, and when you're assigned those progress reports, you'll receive an email and you'll also receive a pending task in the system. Now you can see that my user has a lot of pending tasks. I've got 1 in applications, 3 in grants, 90 in monitoring, and then 1 in closeout. The progress report pending tasks are found in the monitoring phase. So let's go to our pending tasks. We can either click here, or we can click this 90 to take us there for the monitoring type pending tasks. I'm going to go to the pending tasks as a whole. Now I've got a bunch of pending tasks, but I want to find just the ones for progress report. And I do see a few here, but I see some others as well that are not progress report related. There's a couple of ways to go about filtering your pending tasks down from here. You can use the quick search, and then I can just search by progress report and then search for that. And then that will filter it down to all of my complete progress reports. You can also use the advanced filter as well, if that's more your style. I'm just going to stick with a quick search for now. Now here you can see I've got a whole bunch of progress report pending tasks that I have to work on. Today we're just going to work on one of them. So let's go ahead and click the start icon for the first one here that has a start icon that hasn't already been started. So we'll click start, and that will take us right to the progress report that we need to start working on. Now, here in the progress report, the main purpose of the progress report is to report on the key performance indicators that were set by LMG for your subaward. During the subaward draft phase, there were certain targets that were set by LMG, and as you progress through the grant's lifecycle, hopefully you are well on your way to hitting those targets. The point of the progress report is to report on your actuals for that period, typically a quarter. So that way LMG can see how you're progressing towards those targets that they've set. So here in the Overview tab, there's not anything you really need to do outside of certifying that to the best of your knowledge, everything in this report is complete and correct. I'm going to go ahead and check it now, but you should typically wait until after you're done with the progress report before you come back and check it. Let's go ahead and save what we have so far. Next, most of the work is going to be done here in the Performance tab. So let's click there, and in the first section here, you can see the Key Performance Indicators table. And here in this table, you can see that I have a David Key Performance Indicator measure here for my test subaward. And it's some kind of measure where they're tracking a certain number that they're trying to hit, and the target for that number is 90. This column here, this previous value column, will display the previous values that you provided in your past progress reports against this key performance indicator for the subaward. Now, because this is our first progress report for this subaward, our previous value is 0. But if we're working on our second progress report and previously reported a value of 15 in our first progress report, we would see that 15 here. So that way we know how much we've reported in the past. The previous date is also the date that you submitted your last progress report. That way you know when this previous value was last reported on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit edit here, and we're going to report our actuals. Let's say we're pretty well on our way. Let's say we've got 40 of whatever it is I'm tracking done, and we'll say that's as of the 1st of this month. We'll go ahead and we'll save that. The next section, the objectives, simply shows any objectives that LMG is tracking against. So the reason for the KPI is typically in support of some kind of objective that LMG is trying to achieve. There's no action for you to take here, simply informational. The next section is this performance narrative section. In order to edit this, we need to edit the page as a whole. So we'll click edit up here at the top or on the bottom. We'll scroll down to the performance narrative, and you can see here We're being asked to enter our key accomplishments, any obstacles we faced, and any plans to overcome those obstacles. You've been given what are called large text boxes in order to work in. These are relatively big, but if you have a lot that you want to type in here and you want to expand this box out to make it easier for you to see, you can do that by dragging the corner. So let's go ahead and enter our key accomplishments here. I'm just going to say test accomplishments. Let's enter our obstacles. I'm just going to say test obstacles. And let's say plans, our test plans. Finally, the last section down here is an informational section for you, letting you know about your current progress in the subboard as a whole from a financial perspective and from a time perspective. So we have an awarded budget of $50,000. So far, we've spent $10,000 of those dollars, which means we have a remaining budget of $40,000. So we've got 80% of our budget remaining. And we only have 66% of actual time remaining for this subaward, which means it looks like we're not spending fast enough. So we might need to get on that, spend a little bit faster, try to achieve more, try to use that money that we're being given. But this is just informational in order to help drive some of your narratives, as well as help justify some of your actuals that you're reporting against. So let's go ahead and save what we have. And we'll go to the next tab here. The next tab here is the Files tab. And you're already probably really used to it at this point because it's very similar throughout the entire system. First, we have our supporting document checklist, which, as you know, allows LMG to specify which documents are required to be submitted for your progress reports. So if they require certain documentation from you as part of your progress reports, this required documents will appear here. And if LMG has a template that they would like you to use, they will supply that template here, or you can click this view link to download it. When you're done filling everything out and you're ready to upload it, you'll go ahead and use the upload icon here to upload it. So let's go ahead and attach a test PDF here. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a PDF. It can be a Word document, an Excel, an image. Whatever it needs to be, it can be. I'm just using PDF. After you've uploaded all of your mandatory supporting documents, you can attach any additional documents that you would like to in these progress report files here by clicking on Add Files, selecting a classification, and then selecting a document to attach, and finally providing a description. And then clicking Upload. And that's going to go ahead and upload the file here. Finally, if there's any additional notes you would like to add in addition to your narratives, you can do so by adding your notes here. And that's it. That's everything that you need to fill out for your progress reports. The next two tabs you should also be familiar with. We have the History tab, which shows our snapshot history. And we have our Collab tab, which allows for collaboration, internal collaboration amongst yourselves, as well as the ability to send emails from the system and then track that email chain within the system. So what's going to happen going forward? We're going to go ahead and we're going to submit this progress report to the grantor. And when we submit it to the grantor, it's going to go into the submitted to grantor status. At that time, LMG is going to review the progress report. If they have any issues with it, they can send it back to you for corrections. So if they do send it back to you, make the changes, whatever changes you need to make, and then submit it back to grantor. It'll kick it back to this created status that it's in, allowing you to make the changes and resubmit it. If everything looks good, LMG will submit the progress report for their internal approval process. Once they've approved the progress report, that's it. There's no more action to be done. And your actuals that you reported here in the progress report will get updated on the subaward against that key performance indicator. That way you can track your progress throughout the life cycle of the subaward. And that's basically it. So let's go ahead and submit our progress report here, make sure I didn't miss anything. Alrighty, and we are good to go. LMG will take it from here. So that's it for progress reports. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.